Morning, my friends. I hope you're all well. I want to give you guys another tool for raising money. If you're in a position where you're just starting out and you couldn't go to a bank to get a loan because you have no assets, you still haven't gotten that grant. You're in fundraising mode, but no investor wants to give you money, and you don't have a rich cousin or parent. So what do? Well, often people are gonna say, okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna go look for a sponsor to help me in whatever it is that I'm gonna try to do. Whether it's, I don't know, start an event or put up a concert or this or that, and they have limited ways of getting funding. Now, I've raised a considerable amount of money in sponsorship throughout my life, and I remember at the beginning where it was always failure, 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 and what I did to turn that around to start getting money for sponsorships. I remember my first sponsor was $150. Oh my goodness, I thought that was a lot of money at that time. But so I'll tell you guys how I did it. You see, at first, the way I approach sponsors would be like, okay, I'm gonna, I show them my event, I tell them how amazing this is gonna be, blah blah blah, and I'd just be speaking and speaking and speaking and speaking and speaking, and I was never able to close any deals. So, I switched up my tactics and I said to myself, okay, you know what? Each of these people are human beings, and as a human being, they're the hero in their own movie, in their own minds, right? So they have their needs, they have their objectives, and let's say they're working in a major energy drink or something like that. Their boss is telling them, okay, we want you to focus on these things for the year. So they have objectives, they have focuses, and like I said, they are the heroes in their own movie. So that being said, I switched up my tactics. I started going to see them before pitching something, and I just take them out for coffee or whatever, and I'd be like, hey man, so what exactly are you focused on for the year? What exactly are you looking for? And I keep asking them questions and questions and questions and questions, and they would, and of course, ask them about themselves. People love to talk about themselves, and the more information I got, the more I was better equipped for how I was going to position my pitch for money. So, for instance, let's say they told me, okay, well, for something experimental, I only have $1,000. Meaning like, oh, you wanna throw an artist show, and the artist is, it's not a big name, or let's say it's a big name, and they can go all the way up to 15 or 25,000, depending on how the billing is, depending on how big their sponsor is, depending on how the impressions are, depending on how marketing is. So when I got this information, then I would be able to build my whole presentation around that. So like, let's say I was able to get a certain concert, and it was a pretty well-known artist. I know I can go get this amount of money. So I pitched that exact amount of money for what I knew that they could afford. And then after that, I'd break down exactly what the impressions were, what they were going to get in return, how I was going to promote their brand. You see, it was not about my show. It was all about what I can do for that brand, using my show as a tool to fuel impressions for them. So as soon as I switch this around from what I want to what they want, then after that, the wallet started opening up. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this. If you have any additional questions, shoot me a DM. And I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what other questions you guys have, and I'll be happy to answer them. And with that, my friends, search forward. You can do it. Don't give up. Just remember something. Out of these sponsors, by the way, some of them, I went back to them like 10 times before they said yes. 10 times. Can you imagine somebody saying no to you 10 times before they eventually said yes to you? So do not be discouraged. Do not be swayed. It may be a no now, but it's not a no later. Maybe for this situation it didn't work out, but keep a good relationship with them. Always say please, always say thank you, stay in touch with them, send them stuff. I don't mean send them stuff, I don't mean gifts. I mean send them information about what's going on in your life, you know what I mean? And, follow them on social media, give back. And then eventually one day you're going to create a relationship that's going to be strong, and eventually you're going to have that one thing that they need, and in that moment, you're going to get it and you're going to get that money. And then after that, you're going to have that relationship and they're going to keep giving you $10,000 and $20,000 and then $40,000 and one day $100,000. And when that brand starts giving you that, this other brand is going to start giving you this money. And that's how this whole circle works. So no is just no for right now. It's not no for later. Remember that. Have your sheet of all the people that you're in contact with and regularly maintain those relationships, maintain those relationships on LinkedIn, on Facebook, shoot them emails, all that stuff. All right. And with that, my friend, surge forward. You can do this. I know you can. All right. Keep going.